Welcome back, Duelers. We've got another round of 16 game. We've got Min1k against Sunforged. And I'm joined once again by Blatm.
Happy to be back.
Yeah, so pulling up Min1k's deck, if you can. I think we've seen them before, right? Did I cast these with you?
I mean, I know the decks. I I cast the sort of the semis and the finals of this tournament.
So yeah, we've got a Lion-R deck that's sort of surprisingly aggressive, right? Oh no, I definitely cast this with Fate because he was laughing his ass off at the disrespect, like flame blood, save us fine tiger.
Oh yeah, that was Min1k versus Fraka, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, Frocka did get knocked out there, but that's good because it means he's got no bias when he's joining me at casting. And also a creep deck, which a couple of people have been playing creep. How strong do you sort of feel like creep is?
Yeah, I mean, creep is a really good deck, and a lot of its strength is that it's just very consistent, no nonsense. When you have those three Revenants, 3 Nova in your deck, like basically no matter what your opponent's doing, you're going to win that late game. So you can just play a lot of the solid Abyssian cards like Star Assassin and Special Blade, and Araki Headhunter is really good early game too, and just sort of play a normal mid-range strategy and play kind of fair Duelyst and have this safety blanket of Novas where sort of no matter what happens, even if your opponent is playing some really crazy stuff, then that you weren't prepared for, you can always just Nova them and then you're going to win.
Yeah, I do agree. I like creep. I think it doesn't have the best late game about all the possible decks in the game right now, but it has like a really competitive one. And out of all the decks sort of go late game, I do like it. And against them actually... Oh no, go ahead.
Well, so I think the late game of creep, it's not the most powerful late game in that it's the single most powerful thing you can be doing, but it's because of the nature of the late game, right? That you just Nova them, and basically no deck can survive that kind of damage. You always have this ability to just end the game no matter what. I think that's sort of the strength of the late game. Yeah,
it's definitely very valuable. And against them, we got Sunforged, who's doing something that I don't know if anyone else in the tournament is doing. So, I respect it and I like it. They're running 2 decks from the same faction, just with different generals. You got a double Lion-R lineup.
Yeah, I thought this was really clever in terms of tournament organization by Fate, to say you can play the same faction twice, but you have to use different generals. That's a really neat solution to, otherwise you'd have to try and guess what your opponent was playing.
Yeah, definitely. Which deck your opponent's on because of which general they picked. So you're not guessing in Mulligan stage or anything. But that also lets, the faction mains bring 2 decks from the same faction, which presumably Sunforged is a Lion-R main. It definitely sounds like it from their name.
Yeah, and this, so Lionheart Blessing White Widow is so cool. I'm really excited to see that. That draws a lot of cards.
Yeah, that actually got buffed, right? Because it used to do like a single instance of 2 damage. Now it does 2 instances of 1 damage.
Exactly. Yeah, it's only reasonable to do with this new buff. Yeah.
All right. Hopefully they play that deck. I get to see it. But if you're ready, let's head in. All right. So we're following from Sunforge's perspective because Min1k did not add me to their friends list, unfortunately. So.
Oof. Yeah. Skywind Glaive is also a card that got buffed. Now it gives +1 attack, and I think that card can be quite strong. It's
+1 attack to your general, and it's 2 attack to all nearby, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you see a Silver Knight kicked off a Sunforge and a Windblade Adept, so it's pretty easy for Min1k to trade into this Silverguard Knight.
Yeah, I think already you can see that normally players would play the Silverguard Knight out of range of the Windblade here, but Sunforged knows that Min1k is an aggro deck, and so he wants the Silver Guard Knight to trade with the Windblade event.
Yeah, it's not such a big deal. Like, you trade your 2-mana card for their 3-mana card, or vice versa, but the Windblade player loses 3 HP, and, 1 mana for 3 damage is actually, pretty good, better than the Phoenix Fire, so...
Yeah, it's just tricky because you do sort of fall behind, right? At the start of Sunforged's previous turn, there was 1 2-drop on board. Now there are 2 2-drops on board. It's sort of...
yeah, they could take this mana tile and play out 3 cards, which I think would be pretty reasonable, but they're playing the artifact instead. And that buff that you mentioned actually is going to come in here because it's going to trade... it's just going to give them enough attack to trade with the 2 drops of Min1k.
Yeah, +1 attack on the general can really shut down a lot of these kinds of strategies. I mean, the lion is not very threatening. Yeah.
I think I probably wouldn't use it right now. Lion can get in a lot of damage, like just with 1 small attack buff. And, obviously the celerity gives it tons of mobility. I don't think it's worth just to trade in for 1 charge of this Sky Glaives.
Absolutely. And the deck that Sunforged is playing here is really interesting. It has only 3 Holy Immolation as the spells. So there's no Tempest, no Martyrdom, nothing like that. So it's also kind of an aggressive deck, right? You also see the Maws, and I mean, Maw Araki, that's a lot of damage. So... it's going to be interesting to see how, when you have 2 aggro decks playing against each other, which one has to compromise and deviate from the main game plan.
Yeah, I think already Min1k is compromising a little bit to deal with this Araki Headhunter, just giving a bit of concession to the fact that it could grow really big, so they're throwing away their Azurite Lion.
Yeah, this is the other power of playing 1-drops in Linar, is that you have 5 mana Immolation. Here, Min1k knows the opponent's deck list and is playing around it very well, so that's really cool.
Yeah, I really like this Silver Guard positioning. It's very strong.
So the opening gambit on Maw is skippable, and that's sort of an important part of the card that you're never forced to actually ping yourself.
Yeah, and that's going to come in here. They did indeed skip it.
This is scary. This is a lot of stats on board.
Yeah, there's a lot of stats on board. It's a lot of stats to be cleared off, though. I think Min1k is going to make a pretty reasonable job here of dealing with it.
I'm really impressed by the Skywing Glaives. The Skywing Glaives has, basically completely stopped Min1k's momentum.
Yeah, it's not like you can ignore it. Just curious what they've got with their last 3 mana. So that's going to make or break their turn here. Silver Guard Knight, one of the best things you can do with 3 mana. So.
Yeah, and note the positioning, right? That, of course, the 5/1 really would like to trade into the Silver Guard Knight, but the 3/5 Silver Guard Knight. But,
yeah. Not going to be able to.
One thing to be aware of is that Sunforged, the only healing is 1 Emerald Rejuvenator, and Min1k is running 3 Emerald Rejuvenator. So it makes good sense that Min1k is the one that is trying to make the game go a little bit longer, because the damage on them is not nearly as permanent.
Yeah. Yeah, a bit more sustainable in the late game.
So here, Sunforged could push a lot of face damage with this Immo to clear away this 3/1 Silver Guard and then going face with the Windblade. But it's scary because if Min1k goes and just plays some rejuves, they're probably going to run away with the game.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way for them to deal with the 3/5 Silver Guard, so in that respect, sometimes a lot of the time, if I can't deal with something, you just figure out what's the way around it, and putting into 5 HP is a pretty good way around it.
Yeah, it's tricky. So Sunforged could have played an Immo and hit the one of the 3/1 silver guards with their face, and if they hit the one in front of Argion, then they could have used their Windblade to clear the other one. So they would have a clear board, but that's not great, right? Because then they're doing basically nothing else with their turn. They've only got one minion on board, and Min1k is going to have sort of all the momentum in that situation.
Yeah, they're not going to have a way to like pull away from Sunforged permanently. At least not with this move. Definitely do want to clear up that more. Regalia is pretty nice though.
Yeah, so here Min1k is making sure that they don't die to just one Holy Immolation, but probably their hand was not quite what they wanted it to be in that situation. It would have been nice to have slightly different positioning and be a little bit more protected from another Immolation, but this is still good, and wow, it's working out.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if Sunforged is gonna, because they've gone down to 0 cards now, which like leaves them open for a Tempest or something. But they're with even Arc Lights on board, they're ahead in life. So I think going all in, while a bit ballsy, could pay off here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I think it's hard to hold anything here, and because you are playing against an aggro deck, the game can end, and
it just did.
Yeah, and
by the thinnest of margins.
Yeah, that was extremely close.
Wow.